And welcome to midweek. It's Wednesday. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. I do hope you're feeling good. 43 right now outside, so it's nippy as you're getting dressed and getting ready to start your day. Make sure to dress a little warmer for that. And as the day warms up, well, it'll get better. 75 is what we're expecting. So we'll get into this. I'll say this: as we get older, you just don't realize the care that you'll have to give for a parent as they get older. Some days it's tough, I'll tell you. My mom's health has been declining, and bless her heart, it is just tough to watch things like that. And I know a lot of you have been down that road before. It's just tough and it's heartbreaking. Thought I'd share that. There's nothing new to most of you who've done that before. But boy, it sure is tough watching it, isn't it? Good morning. As we said, today is Wednesday. Things will be great before it's all said and done. Can't wait for it. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Let's see, as we begin today, one of the things we have to bring up, and details will come out on this here in just a little while, as the day starts, waiting for replies from the Meridian Police Department as to details of what went on last night. What I can tell you, what I do know now as we pull this up, shots were reported on 20th Street, somewhere around 45th Avenue in this exact area. An arrest was made of a juvenile connected to it. We don't know much about it other than there were shots and a car abandoned in the road. We'll find out all of that later today as daylight breaks. But several shots were heard in the area last night on that. Police responded to that, and one person taken into custody connected with it. We also had shots reported in the 1400 block of 35th Avenue last night. No one reportedly hurt or damage included with that one. We'll find more on the 20th Street as daylight breaks in the Meridian Police Department. So be looking for that, and we'll have something to say on that. And I guess it just gets, well, I guess you don't have anything better to do if you want to do things like this. Have you been to the webpage lately? sammedia.network. Yogi Bear has been stolen. Now, this happened not far from here. Right over in Pelahatchie is where this went for, over at Jellystone Park Camp-Resort. The Pelahatchie Police Department is asking for your help. They've got video of someone pulling up, and then after that, he's gone. That was around late in the evening at 11:42 p.m. on April the 15th, right before Easter. A lot of crime happened that night. We had a break-in here in Meridian, if you'll remember, over the nail salon on North Hill Street on that same night. It was a night for criminal activity. But if you've got a tip, the Pelahatchie Police Department would love to hear from you at 601-854-5223. Again, you can read more about that on our webpage to get details on that. Hopefully the person or persons involved with that will be brought to justice. We certainly hope so. Do you have debris in your yard? Yeah, well, the Lauderdale County folks are getting ready to start cleaning this up. The road and bridge crews will start on this, and it will go through about May. This will be the stretch, and let's show the map where they're going to be picking up. This is the area here as you come into Lauderdale County, right through there. And it'll cross Highway 19 out toward Wynot area there in the south end of the county. So those are the areas that the Lauderdale County crews will be picking up the debris from that April 13th storm. You may have had storm damage from the next one. I was in a conversation last night about that, to where it was just really hard to determine which storm was which. We've had so many lately. You can't say the one, you remember that storm? No, it was the one last week, or which day it was. A bunch of them, hadn't we? Chad White, our state auditor, strikes again. He's made another arrest as we take a look at that this morning. Let's pull this up so you can take a look at this. The special agents announced that they've arrested Stephanie Churchill, from Benton County. She was a former town clerk of Hickory Flat. She's been indicted for embezzlement. By the time they put the fees, $104,000 is demanded. Here's her mugshot. Shad does not play. They arrest anyone and everybody that steals from the state of Mississippi. They are one of the most active that I've ever seen. I think y'all agree with that as well. Jackson, Mississippi. You hear of this so often, of murder-suicides, and the Jackson Police Department is investigating one now. This happened, a couple of nights ago. They have found a 31-year-old lady named Patricia Harley, and the suspect being Mark Felder, 37 years old. I think he was the boyfriend. He shot her and then shot himself, murder-suicide. It looks to be a domestic situation as police investigate that. Horrible how things could turn to that. This is scary, and I think every parent worries about this until their child gets home. Or at least we did, and I'm sure you did, and your parents probably worried about you when you were a kid. But it happened in Arkansas. A young lady was getting off work, and we all know how that is. A teenager, you get a job at a store at night, usually those after hours, after school. She was walking to her car with a friend. A lady stopped her and asked her, could she use her phone? She did. The other girl that was walking with her turned to go get her car in the parking garage. When she returned, the girl was missing, and she ended up calling the girl's mother. Shortly after, the parent received a phone call demanding $10,000 to get her child back. And she was somewhere around 16 years old, and that 17 is how old she was. It was a few hours later they did find her safe, which is good, a miracle all in itself. They're looking for details on this. They were able to track the phone. They have not caught the suspects yet. $10,000. Teach your children. Stay in groups like that. Be better to ride to another car with someone instead of walking alone to a parking garage. And again, this was in Arkansas. It wasn't the state of Mississippi. But still, it can happen here. It can happen there. Be careful out there. Jackson, Hinds County, has offered a reward of a body that was found of a missing man. His name was Mr. Williams, Robert Williams. They're trying to find out what happened. They're offering a $2,500 reward as to what led to his death. He was reported missing originally back on February 17th, and then his body was found March 1st. They're trying to solve the crime of what went on with that. Horrible. We have lost a life in the state of Mississippi. I-55, a Brookhaven man has died in a wreck. Mississippi Highway Patrol investigated a wreck where a 73-year-old man was killed. It happened on Monday of this week, around 8:30 in the morning there in Lincoln County. Condolences to his family there. As we look around with this, proms are going on. They've been going on for what? Not long, not all that long. They're about wrapped up as we move into spring. But a Mississippi senior has been arrested after a wreck where one of his classmates were critically injured. As you can tell, it most likely involved drinking, and it did. He's 19 years old. He was a senior as well. He's been arrested in connection with this. She's in severe shape in the hospital. He's been arrested for public drunk with connection to the prom night. As we looked at this, you don't hear of this much anymore. It used to happen. And LaWanda, you're right. That 360 is great for tracking your iPhone of knowing where you are. Good morning from Brandon, Melanie Mann. Glad to see you there. Of people that used to, when the little lasers first come out, you would hear people getting arrested for trying to shine in airplanes. Well, they've caught one. A Mississippi man has been arrested, and he just happened to be a convicted felon. Eugene Conrad, 52, of Michigan City, Mississippi, has been sentenced to 3 years probation along with 9 months of home confinement for pointing lasers at airplanes trying to land. They had several complaints from the airport, and they eventually sent up a tracking plane, took pictures of where he was, located where he was, and made the arrest. Looks like you'd have something better to do than that. We go to Macon, Mississippi for our next story this morning of things that are going on in and around the area. A Louisiana woman has been arrested for breaking into a church in Knoxville County. That's bad. Brooke Blockham has been charged with 2 counts of burglary in a dwelling, 1 count of burglary at a church. She remains in the county jail there in Knoxville County for this $15,000 bond. Also, we look around. His burial was yesterday. Well, I always respect this. The folks in blue. Former Simpson County Sheriff Doyle King has passed away at the age of 76, and we pass along condolences to his family. Some of the local things that have gone on lately. As we look to national news this morning as we wake up, everybody awake yet? Hope so. The Department of Justice is going to fight this, as we found out yesterday that you could take your mask off. Remember that? You can fly anywhere you want to now without a mask. There's no law prohibiting you from or forcing you to wear it on anything, trains, planes, and automobiles. The Department of Justice is trying to appeal the Florida judge that ruled it unconstitutional. Of course, they said on Air Force One they're still asking everybody to wear their mask. We'll watch this story to see if anything more comes out of this. But wouldn't you know it, they're trying to keep that masking up. Have you paid attention to what's going on with Netflix? I think we have a subscription. I don't spend enough time with it, but it's pretty easy to sit down and watch any movie that you might want to. Their subscription, they've lost 200,000 people in a 3-month period. They're expected to lose more. Elon Musk says he knows why. Read up on this, and it makes a lot of sense. He's called it the woke channel. Well, they're changing their program to fit a certain group in America, and middle America, well, they're getting away from it. Well, here's an example of one of the movies that are on there. Nothing says I want to flip the channel more than that, or at least for me. You may not feel that way. But Elon Musk speaking out on that. That's a lot of subscribers dropping away from something. It should be a wake-up call to them. They're even looking at, their big claim to fame has always been no commercials. They're having to look at, they've lost so much revenue of putting ads now. Again, we'll watch that to see if the stories change on that any over the next few weeks. Did you hear about this big California fire that happened at the Home Depot? It was huge. It's what they call a 5-alarm fire. This is what it looked like. This was a Home Depot in California. How did it happen? Well, as they get deeper into this, you guessed it, a criminal was behind it. He was trying to steal tools, and so he needed a distraction so he could steal tools. He set a fire, and, well, it was awful. He's been arrested now. They figured out what happened with video. It's not like the old days to where if you set something on fire, it burns up the camera footage. It's on a cloud somewhere, back up away from that location. And, well, they've caught him. They've nabbed him. Good job there on that. Arizona, around Tucson, it's been a lot of fires. As we look at this, 6,000 acres is on fire as we watch this. This is the scene of what it looks like out there. That's a bunch. Almost looks like the end of the world. We think about those families and folks in all of that area there as firefighters try to do this. Oakland, California. Now, you've heard of this before. One of the worst things I've ever heard in the news was in New York. This was 4 or 5 years ago, to where they were cleaning out an old jail. They were getting ready to remodel it. Inside one of the jail cells, they found a person that had deceased. Somehow or another, a homeless person had gotten in there and locked themselves in a jail cell, and what a horrible death it was. They found a body in Oakland, California, in a convention center. They're not sure how he got there, but it's almost like a mummified body in the wall. They don't think it's foul play. They think the man somehow or another slipped into the wall, and, well, the rest is history, so to speak. He's been missing for 2 years. His family's been notified. 42 years old. And it makes you wonder why a 42-year-old man would be in a convention center trying to climb walls. We don't know. Again, they don't suspect foul play with that. That is not the way I want to go. But that's some of the headlines from around the area and across the state this morning. I'll tell you what. We'll have more developing on these stories out of Meridian this morning. I hope you'll join us at 8 o'clock on that. We've got to look at your weather coming up here in just a moment. Also, we're going to have Becky coming in, talking about the big extravaganza that is headed to the old Office Max this weekend in Meridian. If you're looking for knickknacks, a spring extravaganza sale, she'll be here to talk to us this morning about all of that. We'll be right back after these messages. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville has these great savings this week. Red, yellow, or orange bell peppers, 2 for $3. Heinz 57 steak sauce, $3.39. A1 steak sauce, $3.89. Bush baked beans 28-ounce can, 2 for $5. Whole boneless pork loin, $1.89 a pound. And leg quarters, a 10-pound package, only $5.99.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
Always a sale going on at the Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville. Dropping in to see Joe. Great fella there. Good morning. I hope your day is well for you. 43 right now. We're waiting for a high of right around 75, and it will get warmer as the weekend. If you've been putting off doing something this weekend, boy, this is going to be it. The last few, we haven't been able to do anything. I think they've got a big thing going on down at the Max this weekend. What is it, Sip and Savor? One of their big fundraisers. They're going to be doing that, and I'm sure there's some other events. As we go to radar this morning, let's pull this up so you can take a look at what we've got. State of Mississippi is rain-free at this point. We'll have a few clouds. It'll be mostly sunny before it's all said and done. As we look out to our east, up in Charlotte and the Carolinas, these areas there, a little cold there. Frost advisory in those areas. Johnson City, Tennessee. As we look back here to Little Rock, if you're in that area this morning, from Texarkana up to Fayetteville, over to Jonesboro, Arkansas, light showers, even up into Springfield, Columbia, these areas here, Springfield, Bloomington, a little bit there. As we look at the East Coast, not so bad over here. This is one of the few times that it looks great up there, but it is chilly around New York. As you get into that frost advisory in Washington, freeze warnings. Isn't it this time of year that, what is it, those blossoms that come out on those trees around Washington? Beautiful. South Dakota, there's a few showers this morning, and still snow in North Dakota this morning if you're going to be in that area. Look at that. What is it? 21 degrees is what the 31 with a wind chill of 21 in those areas there. Along the East Coast, we do have some showers up there by Portland. Not bad for California as well. Look to Albuquerque, a lot of fog and, well, don't burn out in El Paso. Makes you think of Marty Robbins this morning, doesn't it? But as I said, we've got a great week for us. Let's get deeper into the weather this morning so you kind of know what to expect.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
And let's see here. Let's get the weather pulled up so we can all look at this together. I forgot to hit a button. Imagine that, me doing that. That does happen from time to time. All right, as we turn to this is what our forecast is calling for today. Let's look at our record highs and record lows. It was 1987 that we had a warm day. 92. I was graduating high school that year. In 1953, we set a record low of 33 degrees. Thank heavens we don't have that today. We're 10 degrees above that right now at 43. Still chilly, though, isn't it? As we turn, this is what is expected today. Sunshine is 75 today. Now, eventually, over here on the west side, as we go from Natchez up through this area through the Mississippi Delta, some chances of some rain. Not so much here. We'll get a few clouds with that sunshine peeking out with 75, and that's that rain shower we just looked at over in Arkansas that will affect this side of the state. As we move across, and again, 79 down in Hattiesburg. As we, there we go, Alabama. As we look at Demopolis, 75 today, we'll hold that steady all the way through Livingston. Great weather there. As we also look at Selma, 74 there in Auburn, 75 in Tuscaloosa, and we'll get that all the way 71 up in Hamilton. Not bad weather at all. As we look at this is what we've got. We're near normal right now with the 75-degree weather today. A little bit cooler snap will come, and then here comes that heat wave, so to speak. Let's look at our forecast and find out exactly what we've got lined up for this. Over the next few days, as I said, a little bit warmer weather there. 82 tomorrow will come in. Tonight's low around 56. That makes it warmer. Now, keep in mind for today and tonight, we've got gusts of about 25 miles an hour today. Tonight, we'll get gusts of about 20, and it still lingers as great kite weather as we go into Thursday with 82 and 20-mile-an-hour gusts tomorrow. Again, drying out things. As we look to Thursday night, a little bit, not bad, 55 for a low. And as you see, we're getting away from the 40s that we have this morning and warming up. By Saturday, it looks like we'll get to about 85 or 86 degrees. 87 on Saturday. As I mentioned, if you've got an outdoor event going on this weekend, it's going to be perfect. Now, by Monday, we get some slight chances of rain. No mention of anything that could be, well, described as severe. Just a little rain is what we're looking at on both of those days, Monday and Tuesday. Not bad. As we go all the way toward May the 4th, here we go, 78 there on the 27th, and you'll see we get back into the 80s there next weekend again. Going to be a great weekend in store for us again. Low chances of rain there. Partly cloudy skies after we get past that little bit of rain in the earlier part of the week. So nothing to complain about there. What's happening with fishing? Let's go to Chet's Paint and Body to find out if you're going to, as they say, wet a hook today. Well, this is what we've got. Best times to get out there is going to be, well, late this afternoon, that second major time, 4:40. Get out there by 4. Be great till right at dark. If you were fishing early, you already know about it. What are the winds doing? They're going to be south-southeast, 5 to 15 miles an hour. And again, that gust will be strong, up to about 25 miles an hour, and that's a lot. So expect that it won't be a great hair day for a lot of folks. Can't fix it, you better use a lot of hairspray. I no longer have to worry about that. I just hold on to my cowboy hat. Good morning to Donna Crane. Good to see you. Tiffany Spence is up. Glad to see a lot of folks stirring today. Sandy is up. Sandy Kaz. Bill Reinhardt. Good morning. Amanda, watching all the way from Union, Mississippi. Jimmy Hoffa. You never know. Stephen Wanda McKinney, good morning to you as well. And Bree Packer says, happy hump day. That's what it is. Again, we'll be back in just roughly a little over an hour, about an hour and 8 minutes. Candace and I will be here. We'll take you through the morning. We'll have more details of what's going on in our area. We'd love for you to be a part of it if you've never joined us. We'll be back at 8. We'll be right here on Facebook. Join us on YouTube. Easy. Like and subscribe. You can follow it there. It's a great signal and a great way to have a backup should anything happen and you need another way to watch. You can get a link from that at sammedia.network. Several ways to do that. We'll post some more times where you can join that way to watch what happens. And, of course, you can watch us on television beginning at 8 a.m. as well. MeTV, 248 on Comcast and 24.3 on your TV. Whichever way you want to join us. We just want you to be a part of it. See you soon, and thank you so much for being a part of this. We can't do it without you. Y'all make it happen every day. We'll be back soon.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: